The Shat society is divided into three main agnatic lineages, making up more than 30 Shat clans. The society is patrilineal, and the role of the women is believed to be in the domestic domain, although their role in economic life of the community is recognized. The Thuri think highly of themselves. They have elaborate traditions and customs for nearly everything in their realm. They engage communally in many social events and activities, e.g., hunting, fishing, and marriage and funeral ceremonies. Marriage, courting ends in declaration of intent to marry on the part of the groom, and the marriage negotiations starts in earnest. The dowry payment or distribution is shared out among the relatives. The bride is then surrendered to the groom. Birth and naming. The firstborn must be delivered in the bride's parental home. The naming ceremony is performed after 3 or 4 days, depending on whether the child is a boy or girl, respectively. The child is made to hold 3 or 4 tiny pieces of grass, each carrying a particular name which the child will have once it remains in its hand when it is dipped in warm water. Death is mourned by the whole village, depending on the age of the deceased. Only elderly persons prepared the corpse for burial. After it has been lowered into the grave, one of the close relative would come and sit next, but with the back to the grave, holding 3 or 4 stones, which are then thrown onto the corpse, and the performer leaves immediately without looking back. This act signifies that presenting the case to God. The burial instruments are left on the grave for 3 or 4 days when the last funeral rite has been performed, which signifies separating the dead from the living. Hunting is a social as well as an economic activity. It is performed in large groups and according to certain rules, particularly when it comes to hunting big games, e.g. elephants, rhinos, giraffe, etc., to prevent conflict over the distribution of the trophies like the tusks, skins, tail hairs. The person who stabs the elephant first receives the right tusk, and the second tusk goes to the second person.